Cinema Classics is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com.
The award-winning Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows online at WCBE.org and like us on Facebook. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
And this is Cinema Classics.
And we are at the 5th anniversary.
Yeah, the Gateway Film Center, celebrating 5 years, and now officially a non-profit arts organization.
Excellent, excellent.
Really exciting.
So that means more programming, more educational type of programming.
Yes, more working closely with Ohio's filmmakers. Really exciting things in the future here, so stay tuned.
An art gallery?
An art gallery. Yeah, the gallery at the Gateway Film Center. It's about to open here in January, and it's going to be pretty extraordinary. So, let's look back at the year.
Yeah.
Using Entertainment Weekly's guide as a jumping off point, they put together a list of about 10 films.
They're ahead of almost everybody else in picking their top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason we're looking at it is that Entertainment Weekly is an organ you can't ignore.
Yeah, right. Kind of like a kidney.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, actually, can't ignore at least one kidney. So maybe it's like...
Right.
Maybe it's a more vital organ.
It is probably the most influential pop culture.
Okay.
And we're looking at their top 10.
Right. Now, some of these I've seen, some of these I haven't, so I'm gonna bounce these off of you.
Okay.
Okay? So, the number one movie they have right here, which I'm really surprised at this, because of all the talk about Foxcatcher and Inherent Vice and Boyhood. Their number one movie is Whiplash, right? With J.K. Simmons as a brutal music coach.
You got it. You got it. This is a Juilliard type of school. Miles Teller plays the drums. He's going to school, and Simmons plays his professor.
Yeah.
And he's no different from...
Browbeats the hell out of this kid.
Drill instructor and...
Two worst words in the English language. Good job. I know you've been talking about that.
I can't wait for you to see this movie.
I really want to see it. The trailer looks pretty electrifying.
It's wonderful, but I do have good friends
who
have wanted to get out of the theater after about 10 minutes
right?
of it. It's very difficult, only in the sense that you don't accept its hyperbole. I mean, he is such a browbeating, even physical beating his students, that he couldn't really last almost anywhere.
Right.
But if you take it at its metaphoric level, it's, to me, exactly the way I like teaching and learning.
Okay.
Tough.
Yeah.
Take no prisoners.
Take no prisoners.
But Whiplash is number one. Look, it's not going to get the Oscar for number one. But it is a daring choice on EW's part and gets attention. So whenever I see people, I like to tell them, hey, if you can take it, do see this. And I believe it'll be coming back to Columbus.
All right, let's jump real quick. Let's touch on this. It came out earlier last year, and it's great that it's popping up on best of lists, and possibly we'll see some award recognition for it. But Wes Anderson's The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, you know, it brings up one topic for me, and that's why they put it out so early in the year. You and I love it if it comes out March and April, because it's such a bad time for film.
Right. It's
how wonderful.
Sticks out like a sore thumb.
But it's good enough that it's lasting, and it's being nominated.
And that's always great.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always great when a movie makes such an impression and lingers in the pop culture memory that long. So put that one on your list, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh,
I think it just came out on DVD or is soon.
And if you go down High Street, take a look at the Westin, otherwise the Great Southern Hotel, which I look at it right for my patio. It's a knockoff of the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Awesome.
And when I see the little sea bus, the little blue sea bus go by, it's just like a Wes Anderson diorama. This film. Anyway, it's a great, eccentric, funny film.
Now here are a few, I'm jumping ahead. I may go back.
I got it.
Here are 3 in a row that I did see.
Oh, right.
Okay?
Good.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Gone Girl, and Snowpiercer.
Oh.
Each of them really distinct
Yes.
films. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was a ton of fun.
Yes, and I think the kind of film that everybody can go to and enjoy.
Yes, even if you're not like my wife, who turns her nose up the minute you say sci-fi or space or anything like that, she's done. She really enjoyed. My kid is able to get her to go see a movie like that. She enjoyed it. She was sucked into that movie. Now I do think it's a little overrated. I think it's fun and it's a great it was a great experiment in Marvel trying to introduce mass audiences to really peripheral characters that are weird and that maybe not a lot of people are aware of. So that worked. However, it was just a little too, I think, accepted.
Well, it's tongue in cheek when just almost at the too much level,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't. But yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So it's Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't miss taking anybody there.
Gone Girl was interesting. The first time I started to watch it, I walked out of it thinking, this is stupid. People don't talk this way. This is not supposed. Am I supposed to take this seriously? And then something about it kind of stuck with me, and I thought maybe I missed something. And I went back and I sat through the film and I gave it an extra 10 minutes, and then I saw quite clearly what Fincher was doing. He was making a sort of tongue-in-cheek noir, and what really started to interest me was Gone Girl as a consideration of the public perception of Ben Affleck and his career.
Sure.
And that is pretty great because, everybody loved Ben Affleck for a while during the whole Matt Damon and what is the movie they made?
Good Will Hunting?
Yes. So let me start again. So everybody loved Ben Affleck during that Matt Damon phase where they'd made Good Will Hunting and they were Academy Award-winning screenwriters. Then soon after, everybody hated him
Well, he made some
during
bad
the
movies.
Wkly phase. And then everybody loved him again when he started directing.
Yes.
And now they hate him again because he's Batman.
Right.
And I just thought that's what's happening in Gone Girl.
And when you can see him in Gone Girl, you can know that he really can't act.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think he can. But he does play himself in this one.
Yeah.
Very
I
nicely.
think when he plays a smarmy, guy of dubious ethics, he's pretty great.
What my reservation about Gone Girl, and when you have something like Unbroken, where you have a big novel coming into a big film,
Yeah.
You have high expectations, and I had higher expectations than the film achieved for me. And one of the reasons it did is that the female, the heroine, played by Rosamund Pike,
Right.
turns out to be not a complex character at all.
You don't think?
No, I think she's just ruthlessly bad. And
Yeah, but she's so precious at the beginning, and she's so perfect, and everything she says she is that character. What is it? Amazing Amy or something like that. And I thought she handled it really well. I've seen Rosamund Pike in other things and have not been impressed with her. She really kind of did something interesting here, which I liked when she was sort of on the run and feeling threatened by certain characters, and then she turns into this really kind of brutal figure. And there's a centerpiece scene with Neil Patrick Harris that entails a lot of blood and a little eroticism, and I thought that was powerful, and I can't shake that scene on.
that's when I figured he had tongue-in-cheek. Because when you hire Neil Patrick Harris as a romantic interest or whatever,
Right.
you're
But
definitely...
he's not. That's the joke, because he's not a romantic interest.
yeah.
He's this hanging on
Slimy.
kind of. This guy's trying to ingratiate himself. Snowpiercer.
Oh,
Interesting
man.
adventure film.
Oh, I loved Snowpiercer. As science fiction goes, it's great. It's a child of Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
You have the clear battle between the upper class and the lower class,
Right.
and put right into a train
Yeah.
that's probably going around the world.
Right.
It's
Takes
the
a
last,
year for them to go
right,
around.
for go around the world. It's a lot of improbability, but very good basic tropes about class warfare,
Right.
and about the future.
It's just it's a dark kind of, also satirical action movie, and it's starring Chris Evans.
Yes.
And it was made by a Korean director.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
so it's worth a look if you haven't heard about it or seen it.
Snowpiercer,
check that
right,
one out.
right.
The last two films on this list is Birdman and Jodorowsky's Dune. I have not seen, neither one of us has seen
that,
Jodorowsky's. However, it looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Alejandro Jodorowsky is this really out there director who was making movies in the 60s and 70s, and he was going to attempt to make Dune, and the ideas that he had are beyond crazy. And one has to kind of just take a look at the trailer to see if you're interested in it. But this guy, it was nuts. He would have made probably the most expensive, weird experimental film ever. Birdman, on everybody's list. We talked about this. Michael Keaton, gunning for an Oscar. I hope he gets it because I'd love to see a third. Yeah. I'd love to see this third act of his career where he's offered better parts and we kind of really get to see him doing his thing.
I fault Entertainment Weekly for putting that down to the 9th spot on its list. It surely should be up at the top 2, for instance.
Yeah.
That and Boyhood, I think, are the big contenders for the Oscar this year, and my guess is that Birdman will make it. But I think it's an imperfect list.
Yeah.
For a very influential magazine. And I really do enjoy the fact that they put Whiplash, one of my favorites, in number 1. But I don't enjoy the fact that they put my favorite, Birdman, down at number 9.
Yeah, right. That's interesting. So there's a lot of stuff to work around here. Also, one last movie that's close to the top of the list, but is coming out in January and will be released for Oscar consideration before year's end, is Selma.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Yeah?
Selma is the way an historical drama should be done.
Martin Luther King, marching people.
Selma and Montgomery.
Yeah. So they're marching from Selma to Montgomery.
Right. First of all, there's
Montgomery to Selma. We better get this.
Selma to Montgomery.
Selma to Montgomery.
They're going from Selma to Montgomery, and it's without exaggeration. It puts you there so that you can understand what was happening to that part of our citizenry that needed to have the right to vote, and that's all that they wanted. And at least the way the film depicts it, the establishment beat the heck out of them, physically and emotionally. Yeah. And it's done without it. You're saying, "Oh, come on, man, that's just too much." It looks right.
Wow.
Guy who plays Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Let's find his. I want to find his name because he is an interesting actor. Yeah. The guy's name is David Oyelowo. That's my best attempt at a pronunciation.
And it's a good one.
And I'm sure that eventually that name we'll all know it. He's a great actor.
Yes.
I remember him playing the bad cop in Jack Reacher opposite Tom Cruise. And
Yes.
I thought he was great.
Yes.
So it's good to see him stepping up, getting a big juicy part like this. Don't be surprised if Selma sort of starts stealing everybody's thunder at the year. And there's always this movie near the end where the timing kind of works out. A movie like this, kind of bridging the year from late December to early January, kind of steals the thunder and ends up with a boatload of nominations and a lot of momentum heading into the award season.
It's a classy little movie. Probably doesn't have enough oomph about it. Just as really looks accurate. And I hate to use the word sweet, but it does. It makes you feel good about everything that happened, even though it was bad stuff. Yeah. It eventually was good stuff.
That's great. Lots of great stuff.
Ooh.
Catch up on and come visit everybody at the Gateway Film Center, now a nonprofit theater.